The experts said it was impossible. The CEO had almost given up, and then, a tired single dad in worn-out boots asked for a chance. Laughter filled the room until the impossible happened. Want to know how he turned despair into triumph? Subscribe and tell us your city in the comments. We love seeing where this story reaches.
I think that should do it.
People gathered around the enormous machine, as if staring at an
goodness, you
injured
fixed
beast.
it.
Broken, silent, and useless. The factory floor was tense, the air thick with disappointment. That engine wasn't just any engine. It was a custom Oulet, $2 million Corthat-powered, an entire luxury car assembly line. Every minute it sat idle meant thousands of dollars lost. And through workers whispered in fear about what would happen if it wasn't fixed soon. Experts had flown in from different cities, engineers with polished suits and degrees framed in gold. But after hours of trying, they all shook their heads. It was hopeless. The CEO herself, a woman known for her brilliance and strength, stood there with clenched fists. The first time, her employee saw worry in her eyes and thoughts when he appeared. Daniel, a single father, worn boots covered in dust. Grease stains on his shirt, on dyes that carried both exhaustion and determination. He hadn't been invited. He was just a simple factory worker, struggling every day to make ends meet for his little daughter Lily. Rumors had spread that the machine was down. And though he wasn't part of the illiterate pair team, he quietly asked one of the supervisors if he could just look. Therum burst into laughter. "You fixed this? Do you even know what you're touching?" sneered one of the engineers. But Daniel didn't argue. He simply walked closer, carrying nothing but a sold toolbox, its handle wrapped in tape, tools slightly rusty, gloved, used, and trusted. The CEO noticed the way Thurker's eyes shifted toward him. For a moment, she wanted to send him away. After all, if world-class engineer schooled fix it, how could this man? Bootsa, thing in his gaze stopped her. There was no arrogance, no ego. Just quiet confidence. "Let him try," she said softly, silencing the murmurs. Daniel approached the massive engine. His raw hands moved like they were meeting an old friend. He pressed his ear against the metal, tapped it in a few places, and closed his eyes. It was as though he wasn't just fixing a machine. He was listening to its heartbeat. The room grew still. With each turn of his wrench, sparks of flickered among the workers. Then, after only a few minutes of adjustment, tightening, and one deep breath, Daniel turned the switch. The engine roared tow life. The floor shook. The lights above hummed with power. The massive machine purred like a sleeping lion awakened. For a heartbeat, the factory was silent in shock, and then it erupted into cheers. Men clapped each other on feedback. Women covered their mouths in disbelief, and the engineers stood frozen, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The CEO's eyes widened. Ass stared at the man who had done in minutes what experts had failed. To dull day, but the most stunning moment wasn't the roar of the machine. It was what the CEO did next. She walked directly to Daniel, ignoring the crowd, and extended her hand. "From this moment on, you are no longer just a worker in this factory," she said, her voice hoeing. "You are my chief engineer. And our salary will match the value of your talent." Gasps rippled through Thurk. Garkers. Daniel blinked, unable to process her words. His throat tightened, thinking of the bills stacked at home, the nights he skipped meals. So Lily called eat. The dreams he had shelved Becco's survival came first. Tears burned his eyes as he whispered, "Thank you. I just did what I could." That night, Daniel returned home to his tin apartment. His daughter, with her hair tied in little pigtails, ran into his arms. He lifted her high, laughing through tears. "Daddy, got a new job," he told her, voice trembling with joy. To change, and for the first time in years, Thuit pressing on his shoulders felt lighter. The story of Daniel spread through the factory like wildfire. Workers whispered about how a struggling single dad had saved the company's $1 million engine. Not with expensive equipment or prestigious titles, but with heart, experience, and a refusal to give up. The CEO, known for hurtiveness, showed a softer side to visiting Daniel personally weeks later. learning about his struggles and ensuring his daughter's education was fully sponsored. People often think miracles come in golden packages, wrapped with fame and wealth, but sometimes miracles look like a tired man with rough hands and a heart that refuses to quit. Sometimes heroes wear worn-out boots instead of shin shoes. And as you're listening to this story right now, ask yourself, how many Daniels do we overlook? Every day? How many people carry hidden brilliance inside them, waiting only for a chance to shine? If this story touched you, if it reminded you of the power of persistence, love, and humility, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you hope might need to hear it today. Because we're out there, another single parent, another fighter is waiting for their moment.